Hi, this is again Volleyball Explained podcast, and there are only 3 days before the start of the Olympic Games in Paris 2024. And this evening, together with Victor and Ronnie, we're going to have our predictions about our comments, discussions, or whatever with regard to what we can expect in the Olympic Games. Hi, guys, how are you?
I
Hi, Bogdan. Everything okay? Despite the experience in the last month, but okay, ready for the Olympics, and I think it will be one of the most competitive one, seeing all the groups and all the teams. Always.
Yeah, I would say that unfortunately Cuba didn't qualify for the Olympics. I was expecting the opposite. I was expecting for Cuba to qualify instead of Serbia, but I'm going. I will stop just putting a finger in the pain, so we can start on the merit. The first topic I have. Um, envisaged for today is the new format of the Olympic Games, due to the fact that before, until the Olympics in Tokyo, we had the format with two groups of 6 teams, and now we are going to have, for very first time, three groups of 4 teams. Uh, that means several things. The first one is that the matches overall in the tournament will be much less. The second thing is that there will be days with both men's and women's matches, which is a positive for me. And the third one is that the format for qualifying in the quarterfinals will be different because the first place teams, the second place teams, but also two of three third place teams will qualify for the quarterfinals in Paris. What do you think about this format? And let's Victor start. Do you hear me or not? I think there's a freezing. So Ronnie, probably you can start, and then Victor will carry on.
Okay, so this is a very new format proposed by the FIVB in coordination with the Olympic Committee. You know, the FIVB runs the draw and the format and how things will be conducted. After many years, we see a format that allows teams like rest more, have few matches than before, two less matches than the old format. So you have to play 6 games in order to be champion. You have to win 6 games or at least win three after the qualification round. Um, the the two first teams advance and the two best thirds also advance is a new thing, of course. This will not allow teams to, you know, decide who want to who or against to lose, because it was an issue of the two last games in the old system that many teams like didn't play with all they got because they were already qualified for the next round, and they started to pick rivals in the quarterfinals. Now will be a ranking between the 8 best teams, and it will be decided in that way who goes to who in the next round, because this is will be very short tournament, very short group phase. I think that it is very possible that you can win this with only 6 or 8 guys, because this tournaments is like, for me, Olympics is turning more like an exhibition tournament. Yes, of course, it's the Olympics. Everyone wants to win it, but in order of difficulty, this is uh, more like this is not harder than World Championships, for example. So we have you have more teams, you have more games, etc. But yeah, I think this is a very good format. Let's see if it will stick to the next Olympics in Los Angeles on Forum. But yeah, nothing to complain about.
Victor, what do you think about the new
I think
format?
it's also very interesting, but I cannot actually put my head around how are the quarterfinals determined. I guess it's first team against best third and first team against best third, but in second against second, I don't actually understand how the pairing goes after like during quarterfinals. But that's another subject, I guess. I think Ronnie put it very good. I think it's less games. It's more or less maybe a world championship would be more difficult, but still, in the minds of those athletes, it's still Olympic Games, and I think they're still thinking, "Oh, this is the biggest stage ever. We're not allowed to have mistakes." And I completely agree. This will be a tournament which will be played from 6 or 8 players per team. The other six will be like exactly specialists, like serving specialists, block specialists, reception, something like this. Like every team has clear roles. Why are they taking these guys and these guys in their planning? I think the best teams will be just planning ahead um, with those games. I think it's a very interesting format. I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest, but yeah, I like that there's going to be a lot of games every day, women and men, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, I would like firstly uh, to uh, to uh, to welcome any comments from the spectators. You can write your comments, opinions, questions if you like in the comment section, of course. And in addition to what you said, I would I would like just to add the following that. Unfortunately, it's not possible to increase the number of teams in volleyball in the Olympics, and that's self-saying because if you increase the number of participants in one collective, one team sport, you need to do it in all the other sports. So that means that you should have, for example, 16 teams in football, 16 teams in basketball, in handball, in water polo and rugby, seven, field hockey, etc. Probably I'm missing some sport, but that's the problem. You need to. This is significant increase in the number of all athletes, all Olympic athletes that are who will be participating in the games. So in this regard, it's not possible, unfortunately, to increase the number of teams because it's linked to logistics and time. So let's start then working on group by group and start with the men. Group A is France, Slovenia, Canada, and Serbia. Who do you think is the favorite here, and who will be out of the tournament after the group stage? Who will start? Okay,
Think
let's go.
exactly as you said it. That's my ranking. Exactly the teams that you said in that order. I think that's exactly how it's gonna look like. I mean, as we began to say, I think this is the most interesting Olympic Games that we're gonna see in the last 16 years or something, because it's so there are no teams, maybe with exception of one that is just invited to be there with quota or something. There are like really good teams are staying at home as well, but not like last year's. So still, it's like every group is a bloodbath. So I think in this group, the hosts will take prevail. They had a good they prepared really well with Nations League. They looked pretty stable, pretty long bench. Like Theo Fourret, Jean Patry, both setters, all outside hitters, like every middle blocker, not to mention Genia. There are no weak spots right now. So it's just in their hands. maybe if the pressure is too big because it's in Paris, maybe this is going to put a break on them. But I think they're gonna rock it in the group at least. I think Serbia are just going to maybe take a set or two, maybe a 3-2 win, but I don't think they look good right now. Um, and Canada and Slovenia are always fun to watch. Slovenia is like pretty much the same team from 10 years ago, so you know what to expect. You don't underestimate them because you know what's going to happen. I think Canada is really starting to play also really, really cool volleyball, and with Lepke and Mar and like power middles, good setters, stable reception. I would say it's an interesting team also to watch. But I think France first, Slovenia second, Canada third. Also, Canada maybe one of the best thirds, and Serbia gonna stay fourth.
Yeah, by the way, the question about the best two third place teams uh, will be very interesting in working out, because it will be very much depending on the last team taking sets, probably taking matches. Uh, so it will be very interesting. Ronnie, what do you think about this group?
Yeah, like Victor said, France will have a very tough time playing at home. We basically have watched how the host team always struggle to perform in their home soil, because it's not easy. People think they have the advantage, but at the same time they have the pressure to do it for the home crowd very well. And but I think France have the luck, who I mean, that they don't meet any top 5 team in the world right now in this stage, which can be perfectly be like Poland, Italy, United States. So they are clearly the favorites. Again, the VNL helps, but I don't trust too much at the VNL results, because that was a different kind of tournament. We in the past saw teams winning the VNL and then doing very poorly at the Olympic Games. So right now, let's see how they manage the pressure. I think the team is very well constructed. Ngape is not is anymore the Ngape of 2020, 2016, but I think he can provide a little of expertise, experience to the group. And overall, let's see if Brizard can again be that leader that show his game at the VNL. So yeah, for me, Slovenia is like 2 or 3 steps ahead of Canada, despite that Canada did it well at the VNL. But Canada depends too much about the two oxide hitters. If Stefan Mar or Lepke, any of those two, don't play well that day, it will be very hard for them to take something about that game, or from that game. Sorry, but I believe that with this group, maybe, yeah, Serbia, they didn't play any friendly. I think Serbia already mentalized that they are going to enjoy the experience and nothing else. They had a scheduled event in Poland. They didn't go, so I don't know what happened. So yeah, for me, like Victor said, there isn't too much difference. Although I want to see the Serbia versus Canada game, because of course this will be one of the last. Of course, is the last game of those two teams. So let's see what happened, because at the VNL, Canada was schooled by Serbia. I know that that's the VNL, but it was in their home soil. So yeah, when a team doesn't respect you, even in your home, that can create some of doubts coming to that game specifically. So yeah, but for me, it's very clear: France 3-0, Slovenia 2-1, Canada 1-2. let's see if with that 1-2 Canada have enough to qualify as one of the best third. And yeah, that's it.
Yes, yet let's just remind that 1-2 in terms of wins and losses could mean uh, actually uh, 4 points. It could mean 5 points. So it could differ very easily, and it's very hard in this regard actually to predict the third teams, of course. And it's also possible that the last team could have a number of points, and that will influence the ranking not only in this specific group but in the whole tournament. Just look at the comments. Stefan Demergiev, hi, sorry, hi, really sorry that Cuba is not in Paris. Let's do not underestimate Serbia, but I think France, Canada, Serbia, Slovenia. So that's a very interesting prediction from Stefan. And do not hesitate to write also your comments or opinions about what is going to happen in Paris. And so we are going to the next group. Here we
Can I
have
just put a side note and like
okay.
because of this comment, it's very interesting putting Slovenia last. I would have done the same, but I saw how Tonček Stern played VNL. And this guy, I don't like this guy. Like I don't think it's a top 10 opposite in the world or something. I don't far from it. But like he was in my VNL fantasy team every week. Like why how I don't know. But if he brings this performance to the Olympic Games, I think Slovenia is gonna look differently. And let's not forget Rok Možić is back.
Yeah,
So
Rock
that
Modric is back.
gives the team a bit of depth. So I don't think they're gonna be fourth, but I've been wrong before. So very interesting to see.
Okay, in order not to prolong it that much, let's go to the second group: Poland, Italy, Brazil, and Egypt. Here we have the outsider, that's for sure. But how do you think the other three teams will perform? Because it's not wrong to say that we have the three of the favorites in one group.
Yeah, I will start by saying that Group B will have one of best third place because having a free win with all the respect of each national team, but we all know that if they win a set in this group, they will throw a national party because it is very hard for them to play with these powerhouses. You have Italy, world champion in the last world champion. You have Poland, the other last world champion, and Brazil was the first, or yeah, the last time they were champion was in 2010, beating Cuba, of course, and were Olympic champion in 2016. So history is here, and even though I now see Brazil coming from outside uh, against Poland and Italy, uh, they always perform very well in the Olympic Games, and I will not surprise if they win a game even to sorry, to Italy or Poland. In the last years, we have seen how Poland have tried to building a super team that have give them some titles, but they have no win everything. I think they struggle with the pressure to perform at this level. And for Italy, when you are young, you can be capable of everything. And that's the right mentality. That's why I said at the beginning of the program that you only need 7 or 8 good players to win this competition because it's very short. And Italy have perfectly that. I don't think in the very deep uh, roster that have Poland, that doesn't means anything, especially in this competition. And yeah, but it will be a very interesting group to watch and see how all the pieces assemble together. But for me, Italy comes first, Poland second, and Brazil comes in third place. Egypt 0-9 in sets, 0-3 in losses.
Actually, in this group we have the last nine world champions in the group. The last world champion not to be in this group is United States of 1986. So so in this regard, it will be a very huge clash between Poland, Italy, and Brazil. Just to make one remark from my side, the problem of Italy is uh, is
Middle
the
block.
opposite. The
Ah, the
opposite.
opposite.
I don't think they have any problem in any other position. The problem of Brazil is that the best players are aging, like Leao, and so the younger players do not have the experience. Like for example, Darlan, who is playing great, but it's not consistent. And the problem of Poland is how will things will play out with Leon, because I'm still on the opinion that it's not. This is probably erratic, but it's not. I'm not sure that Poland is better with Leon than without him. What do you think, Victor, about this?
Very interesting group. I have a slightly different opinion to Ronnie. I think Poland is gonna win it only because exactly what Ronnie said about VNL. Just because they had a shit VNL, I think this is exactly what Gerbic wanted to battle test them, to show those Polish guys that are in some ways arrogant, that they think they can win everything. They had some really bad games, so he showed them like this is not gonna work in the Olympic Games. This is not gonna be possible if you play like this to be Olympic champions. What you said, Bogdan, I liked it. Like the last nine world champions. Well, it's really good that it's not world championship, so cards can be shuffled again, and I think Poland will be very dominant in this group and will take first place. It's still Italy and Brazil on the other side. Like anything can happen. I completely agree with the Brazil stuff. Like Bruno is not the same. Lucarelli just looks tired. He's been playing like every single game in Piacenza, almost every single game in the VNL. I think this guy is on limit. I think he's still going to perform because he's a elite player, but still will be very difficult also with Darlan. Same thing with Italy, with as you said with Romano. But if he has a good game, maybe it's also possible. But I marked three teams that are used to play with the same 7, 8 players, and it's exactly Italy, Slovenia, and Japan. They don't rotate much. They keep playing with the same squad. So maybe that's why Italy has a bit of a edge. I think Italy and Poland will fight really heavy for the first place in the group. So, but still, Brazil is Brazil. You can never say that's not going to work. I think it's going to be a very interesting group. As also Ronnie said, all respect to Egypt, but set is going to be history.
According to Stefan, Poland will be out. Italy, Brazil, Poland, and Egypt. So that means that Poland will be out as the worst third place team. So this is possible, of course, but with, let's say, three sure certain points. Nice. I will write it down, Stefan. I will write it down, and we'll comment after the group stage. Okay, the last group is Japan, the host from the last Olympics, USA, Argentina, and Germany. First question: do you believe that this group is more even and more competitive than the first one?
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's more competitive because Serbia, for me, Serbia already give up. They would just want to be there. To the players have that experience. They didn't play any friendly coming to this, and all the other teams, for little chances that they have, they all played something. Germany played Brazil, Argentina played Italy, Japan did that mini tour in Poland, and USA, of course. Uh, it's even because I don't see any prominent figure in Serbia national team. And for example, I see a couple of young good players in Germany, and of course the figure of Grosser is still there. So yeah, for me, I don't compare that group with the group A.
Victor will tell us anything about Germany, I think.
Completely agree with Ronnie. I think the group is going to be really competitive, and yeah, Germany are. I really like the mental side that they're taking. Like they're playing first game at 9 o'clock. Every like Vinyarski is really preparing this group to be mentally tough because they know that they don't have the elite players that USA has or Poland has. They know that they don't have the system that Japan plays and whatever. But he says everything that is going to be inconvenient for us, we're going to make it convenient. So we're going to play at 9 o'clock. This is good for us. You think it's bad? No, it's good for us. It has to be good for us. So everything has to be turned in a positive way for them. And I think the players, I mean, they showed it in the Olympic qualifier. They were players that actually said that they're not going to the qualifiers. I'm not gonna say names, because they said like, why should we? Like the thing is lost, like we don't need to go there to just lose and like not play Olympics. So based on this tournament, he based his group to go to the Olympic Games, and I think they're gonna be really mentally tough. And as I think Volleyball TV wrote it, it's going to be the dark horse. I don't think any team will be happy to play against Germany. As we said, like, of course, Georg Götze is Georg Götze, but he's also not getting any younger. He was really out of shape in the last games of VNL. He was in the memorials in Hubert Wagner and against Brazil. He's getting there, yeah, but I think if he has a big game, of course, they will win. Everything is going to be fine. But the outside hitters are not on the level, maybe on the level from Argentina for sure, but not Japan and USA. So I think it's still going to be a very interesting game to watch, like every game in this group. Um, and I'm biased, of course. But yeah, I think Japan is going to win the group somehow. I hope Germany is going to be second. And USA is going to qualify as best third, and Argentina is going to stay at fourth. But I think maybe if I wake up tomorrow, I'll have a different opinion about this group.
Stefan says this is the super group. My prediction here is Japan, Germany, Argentina, and USA. Another interesting prediction, because I would have asked you, firstly, how Japan is that good, because this is the big bang of Japan, I would say, with players like Takahashi, Ishikawa, Nishida, Sekita, also the liberals. But how it it it, it could be just I don't know, probably a superficial opinion or a superficial statement, but USA doesn't look that good as before. Do you think this is the case? And if yes, why? Ron,
About Japan, people have tried to understand how the shortest team in the Olympics play like one of the best team in the world right now. They are ranking number 2 at the world ranking. This is like not in the best dreams of Japan in the 70s when they were a powerhouse. This was a thing. I think for most part of the people that understand volleyball, they have introduced something new or something that people have forgotten. The speed of the game has increased, and this for the first time since the Brazil of the 2000s, with two very good outside hitters like Takahashi and Ishikawa, and excellent setter. You can say that uh, it's very efficient. You know, they don't use brute force. They don't use spiking to the deep corners of the court. They just use their brains to uh, get the bad things of the rivals. I guess playing with Japan is a very tough matchup for tallest teams. I guess nowadays, uh, because they play with your block or with your patience. One of those two. So I think because this is a short competition and they will get there, you know, in shape. I guess they will have the upper hand here because the thing that struggled most Japan was the deep bench. They don't have bench. They only have Ran and Ishikawa. Then maybe Yuhi Nishida and Miyaura. The middle blockers are fine, I guess. Uh, but that's it. Now with the shorter competition, they can, rest some guys before the main event. The games against Argentina, a very good matchup for Japan, and Germany uh, proposed that. I don't know what we're gonna happen versus USA, because USA is an experienced team that know how to play this kind of volleyball. But yeah, uh, they will have at least with the rest days a very good shot to win a medal in these Olympic Games. But I will say for this, USA still remain the favorite to win this group. Japan is second, and I don't know who to pick for the third and fourth place because it's a very it's a very hard to predict. I guess I will pick Germany because in the recent days, the libero of Argentina, Danani, injured, and even though they didn't say that it's a serious injury, for me, he will for sure feel that ankle. So yeah, I think Germany is the third place, but I don't think in this group the third place will qualify. So you have to keep that in mind. Being third place in this group doesn't mean that you will qualify. So because it's the most hard to predict, games will be close, and when you are close to one another, you lose points that you need to uh, break even in the rankings for the next round.
Stefan says that Japan's recipe for success, discipline, mentality, a lot of hard work. That's for sure. That's Japan's recipe for success in any field. Okay, guys. So overall predictions: who will be the next Olympic champion? Or probably okay, I will start then. I will break the ice. My prediction is that Italy is going to be an Olympic champion in the men's section for the very first time.
If Poland reach the final with Italy, I think Poland have better chances to win. But every matchup that Italy have besides that, it will be in their favor. Even with France, I think Now you have a tier, like let's call it that, a tier, Italy and Poland, of course. Then you have a B tier with France, USA, maybe Brazil, if no, sorry, Japan, of course, and then C tier, Brazil, Slovenia, etc., etc., etc. But this is Olympic. We saw United States have a good first match in Tokyo. They won against France 3-0, and they didn't qualify, and France ended to be the Olympic champions. So, surprise uh, is at the order of day in this in this kind of tournament. So, because everyone will give the 110%. Uh, Says Stefan that Japan, France, and Brazil. Well, I think
It's gonna be good.
prediction of the podium will be hard for me. It can be Poland, Italy, and France. But again, you cannot predict something if you don't see the quarterfinal pairings. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, it is what it is.
it's shooting in the dark for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I also struggle because I don't know how it's gonna be paired. But I think with these groups with 11 top teams, I think it's just gonna be really fun to watch. And
Yeah, we
Okay, for
lost
sure,
Victor.
for sure, for sure, it will be
think and
the
every time something happens that we like, oh, we didn't even think about this. Till, yeah. But I think Poland first, France second, Japan third, Italy will be fourth.
Uh,
It's
Ronnie,
gonna be that's my prediction.
Ronnie, you told in the beginning in the of the podcast that the first 18s uh, will be ranked from first to eighth. Does it mean that they can play in the quarterfinals even though they played also in the group?
let's put it in this way. You have a ranking after the qualification round. First places will be put from best to the worst, one, two, three. Second best places again, one, two,
Uh-huh.
three, and the worst two places will be like 1, 2, and the last third places will be eliminated with the four places. Okay, so you have a ranking of teams, and of course Poland, that is the best place team, can uh, can play with the maybe the worst third places. The worst third places. Maybe it can be Canada, maybe it can be Slovenia,
But it
but
could be Brazil too.
yeah,
In theory, I mean, in theory, it could
eh,
be.
in theory, I don't know if the Olympics specify that you cannot match in a quarterfinal a team that you already play in groups, because this will be very stupid. Uh, and this and this is something that we saw at the World Championships in Slovenia. They invented this ranking thing, and we saw like in quarterfinals, maybe, yeah, it was in quarterfinals, teams playing against each other who were in the first group, in the same group, uh, first place, So yeah, but you know how FIB is. They don't find a good formula even if they try. So
I'm looking now in the Wikipedia page, which when it's coming to sporting tournaments is very accurate, and I think there is no exception. So they they will play. I think if this is the case, and for example, the best teams of all, it's in the same group as the worst third placed, which qualifies. So that means
uh,
that
but
this is possible.
this is one case of four. You have four
Yeah.
quarterfinals. Maybe you have this matchup, and that's it. It's very hard to have it in 2 games, but yeah, it can happen. Can happen.
Yeah. And yes, the second, actually, two of the um, two of the second place teams will play one against each other. The fourth and the fifth team. The third, the the worst first place team will play with the worst second place team, and yeah, that's it. Okay, guys, let's go to the women's section. First group: France, USA, China, and Serbia. Here we have the outsider, and this is the host team of France. What do you think
Uh,
of?
This time you didn't rank them as you ranked them with the men's, I think.
Yeah,
uh, I can start. Don't tell anyone that I'm a women's coach, but yeah, as you said, I followed a bit of France. Really good opposite hitter with Jiquel, but I don't think like I think it's a bit unlucky for them because they could win a game, just not in this group, like not in this killer group.
Kenya,
Serbia look,
for
yeah,
example.
yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe they can like play a good game against Poland or something, or against Brazil, Japan, something like this, or Netherlands, Domrep. Still, yeah, difficult for them. Serbia has been playing. I think they were testing a lot with VNL, so I'm really like I want to see how it's gonna work with Bošković and with the heavy hitters, with half of the team like coming in like new faces, half of the team still players that have so many medals around their necks. More or less same with China and USA. I think USA are finishing like exactly like with the men finishing the Olympic cycle. Where like these women, I think, are hungry to get one more gold, and this is more or less the same group that got gold in Tokyo. Um, so yeah, I think it's also going to be it's going to be the like Group B in with the men. I think this is Group A with the women. I still think I will rank China first because they've been playing really solid, and I think on the outside they have the best pairing. I would think with the lefty and with Zhu. It's gonna be very interesting, and they're really block strong. With in the women's volleyball, you don't have so many teams that are so block strong like them with both of their middles. So I think China is gonna win the group. USA is gonna be second, Serbia third, and France fourth.
yeah, it's a group unlike the main tournament. We don't have that very competitive, solid groups with two outsiders. In this case, France is the first being host. I think it will be very. This group have high chances to have one of the best third places because of the difference in power against against France and United States, China, and Serbia. Saying that, I think I will put like Serbia in first place. They have been like resting the best player for this competition all the summer. We know how is the philosophy of the Serbian national team, sorry, national federation towards the women team. They don't like to exhaust their best player, Tijana Boskovic, playing a tournament like BNL. So I, I mean, I don't remember the last time Tiana played BNL. If her plays, sorry, if she played in first place this exhausted tournament. But yes, Serbia is my first pick. Now, USA has been a struggle this Olympic cycle too much at the point that they almost didn't qualify directly. they have the luck of not having to face Italy with Egonu, which was crucial and at the same time important to their aspiration and qualify for these Olympic Games. With that being said, I think their best players like Larson, Annie Drews, Melby Kelsey Robinson are Asian, and they are not that effective as 4 years prior to this competition. They have solid middle blockers, maybe setters as well. The libero is just fine with Justine, but when you win something for the first time, it's hard to repeat that 4 years later. And I think that's the mentality of this Team USA. For some of those players, they can say, okay, let's try, but in their minds, they already won it. So that urgency that they have 4 years before these Olympics is no more. Um I think that China is capable of bringing back the best of shooting, maybe Shan uh, and what is the other outside hitter? You maybe they can take USA out and put it in the third place because I don't think USA lose against France. For me, will be this China second place and USA third place. Last place is France.
Okay, let's go to the next group. And it's interesting that here we have also Brazil and Poland in the same group, but together with Japan and Kenya. I believe Kenya will be very harshly beaten in this group.
Mhm.
I think Egypt has a bigger chance to win a set or anything in Group B in the men's tournament. But here, Brazil, Poland, and Japan. Actually, these are three of the second, the third, and the fourth team of the VNL, right? How do you think
Yeah.
will things play out in this group?
Well, we have another group that have the same exactly situation of the first one. I think from this group, another best third place will come. It can be anyone. For example, Brazil have a fantastic intercontinental phase in the VNL, but lose against Japan in a tiebreak and didn't won any medal. Then lose against Poland, but I think they lose against Poland because they were thinking too much what happened in that semifinal against Japan and how did they didn't win that. But yes, this is like I say another competition. I don't mind having Brazil in first place. I will put it like that. And but because Poland is new in this time in this kind of competition, I will say they are third place for me. Japan is more like used to playing in Olympic games. They know better how to play in short competitions. So I think like Brazil, Japan, and Poland can be for me an interesting end of events in Group B.
Stefan's prediction: Brazil, Japan, Poland, and Kenya. So this is pretty much, yeah.
Mine is almost the same, but I will switch Japan and Poland. I think Poland have serious firepower. Maybe like I think Ronnie is right about new stage, but new stage also means we're here. We want to prove ourselves. We want to show what we can do with like really good coaching from their coach right now. I think that they have some really serious hitters right now. They're offensively very strong, which helps against Japan. So I think in the matchup, Poland Japan, I think Poland will win. But that's just again same thing as with the men's. Anything can happen in the Olympics. But yeah, I would just rank Poland second. But as we also say, the same with the group B with the men, the best third place team will come out of this group, which would be Japan, in my opinion. But let's see. I think also Brazil played very very strong tournaments, and I think they showed also a bit of depth with Bergman. Um, of course, Gabi with her herself, like how she always plays. I think would be very interesting to see how she plays another important tournament. So yeah, I think this group will also be fun to watch.
Yeah, I just saw in my crystal ball that there will be tiebreaks here in this group, and that means that taking into account that all three teams will take 3 points of Kenya, the one of the third place best teams will come out from this group. So, in my opinion, no matter how this play out, all three teams will make a step into the quarterfinal. And let's go to the last group, and this is probably, if not for sure, the most interesting group. That means that the super groups, the groups of death, like people say, is again Group C: Italy, Turkey, Netherlands, and the Dominican Republic. Even though I think that um, I had the pleasure to comment in the Bulgarian TV that broadcasted the VNL, the match between the Dominican Republic and Bulgaria surprisingly won that match. And I would not actually uh, draw a scenario where uh, where Dominican Republic is that good. So, in my opinion, it's probable that Italy, Turkey, and Netherlands will not have problems to win against the Dominican Republic. But who knows? Rolling the dice.
Yeah, I mean, after what we saw in the first two groups and saying that already the best third places are gone, it's not crazy to say that Netherlands or Dominican Republic can be eliminated in this group, even if they win each other by 3-0. I mean, um, in the past, those those two teams, or sorry, these two teams are playing like very low matches. They know how to play each other, very bad or very good. But even when I see glimpses of Dominican Republic playing well, they fell apart, and yeah, there is no way, I think, for them to make an upset in this group. Italy now is playing the best volleyball they have played in years with Egonu back and the new staff that they have. They managed to put with Velasco, Bernardi, and
And
Barbolini.
Barbolini, the
I mean,
Avengers.
I, I mean,
The Avengers. That's
it's
that.
if it was hard to beat Italy before, imagine now. So they won the VNL. Of course, VNL is nothing like this, but they are a pretty solid team now. Turkey has been struggle with injuries and not so good shapes of the best players. Shara Gunesh have been out of the competition since week two of the VNL. Vargas have been struggling with the shoulder since the China season. Uh, and yeah, they aren't by any means they are not by any means, sorry, the same Turkey that we saw the last year when they won BNL and of course the European Championship. But still, it's Turkey, and they have the strength to beat comfortably Netherlands and of course Dominican Republic. For Netherlands, it's a very look that they are here. I guess they will enjoy the trip because they won in the exact same fashion Serbia took out Cuba, but in the women's they won against Canada. And Dominican Republic, even if their federation president, sorry, Cristobal Marte, promised like a reward of 15K dollars for each player if they won the Olympics. I think this is more like a motivation thing than anything else, because it's clearly that Dominican Republic, with the year that they are having, resting Brenda Castillo all the season long and not having the best shape of Martinez, Brayalin, and Gaila, the opposite, is very, very hard to think that they can even, beat Turkey and Italy. So yeah, for me, Italy, Turkey, Dominican Republic, and Netherlands. That's my order of in this group. Sorry.
According to Stefan, two Olympic medalists in this group, Italy and Turkey. Italy with charismatic Velasco, and Turkey with Vargas. Stepped on the next level, but for him, more important is Karakut. By the way, the Avengers, or I would say also Voltron, with Velasco, the head, and probably Berbolini
Good.
and Bernardi, the hands, the arms. So yeah, it's a nice idea from Meme. Victor, what do you think?
I'm gonna start with the ranking. Italy, Turkey, Netherlands, Tom Rep. But something you guys said started me thinking that the Dominican Republic is not gonna win a lot and no chance. And yes, but how did they get there? That was also they qualified directly
Yeah, that's
to this
that's the
tournament.
most interesting thing. Yeah.
So history knows such things, especially with shaky Turkey. Like anything can happen with them. Like they can play as if you're playing the men's national team of Turkey. Like they can rip you apart with Vargas, or you can like kill them 3-0 because like they don't have a good day with Vargas, like somewhere else, and not everyone in best shape. I think Italy, nothing is going to happen in the group. They will be first with the Avengers like bending the way through everybody. Um, Netherlands is going to be interesting for me because they put a lot of effort in this tournament, and of course, coach is German. They started the campaign with very, very like 3-4 years ago. I think when he took over, it was not very, like not a lot of motivation for these things, and now finishing it on a high and qualifying for Olympic Games, I think for them is very like extra motivation. I think they have top level players like with Dalderop, Plak, Bayens, very good blocker, and Deacom, I think was the setter that was before. She's mentoring the setter now, so I think could be that some surprise comes with a tiebreak or maybe a win, but let's say not against Italy. But yeah, my logical prediction would be as stated.
Okay, guys, let's finish with the predictions on the champion in the women's tournament.
Hmm.
I
Let's
deleted
roll the
it like
dice
five
again.
times since we started to talk here. Like I put first and second and third in teams like it's gonna be yeah. I put Turkey first, shaky Turkey. Uh, China second, Italy third, and Netherlands fourth.
Yeah, and we lost him again. It's
I
it's
mean, I think for me, sorry, Tal again, Victor, because you went off.
Sorry, I was out.
Turkey,
Turkey
Turkey,
first,
China, and Italy, right?
China, Italy, Brazil.
Okay,
Wild.
I
that's
think
that's very crazy and brave, I would say.
okay, because we don't have how to predict the quarterfinals, but I'm going to Italy. At last, they win the quarterfinals and fight for a medal. Serbia, second place. Tijana Boskovic can carry a nation. And of course, Turkey is my third and final. It can be Turkey or Brazil, but and check this out: Brazil historically don't like to play like for bronze, and that's why I think because it's the first medal that Turkey will have won. I think they, in a hypothetical bronze medal, they will have to get that medal better than Brazil. Um, yeah, USA for me will be disappointing, and China, I think they have to start thinking in a rebuilding process. Even if they have shooting, that is not the shooting that we remember of. Too many injuries and too many internal problems with the China Federation. Yeah, the other players are used as Asian, the setter specifically. Yeah, I don't see if they win something. For me, will be a surprise. But yeah, China, I don't think they make into the semifinal. Of course, Japan is in the very exact situation. They have two good players with Koga and Ishikawa Mayu, but that will be enough to be in a semifinal. That's always the question. No, it will be enough or not or yes. Let's see what happens. In general, it will be a very two excellent, I think, tournaments, both women and men. Uh, Thank God, with this new process of qualification, we are sure that no random team like Venezuela sneak out in the sneaking. Sorry, in sneaking in an Olympic Games. But yeah, I only wish that for the next quad, Cuba can manage to do things better. Also, Bulgaria, because we have very promising young talent. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Uh, Stefan says Italy, China, and Turkey, and I will make the brave prediction that Italy will win both men's and women's
I
tournament.
don't know why everyone likes China, dude. I don't know why everyone likes them.
I don't like them. I think they're just gonna win.
Probably
I
they
really
paid
don't
them.
like them.
Probably they paid them.
Yeah.
Well,
China economy.
well,
um, yeah.
that's it. I
Yes,
think
that's it.
we have put a very good show,
Yeah.
very synthetic, very precise, not going to the random points or whatever. I think yeah, it will be very interesting. I also follow beach because a Cuban team is playing beach volleyball, but that's another different sport. Let's see what happens. Although I think
This is not a beach volleyball channel.
also, but I think the venue in beach is better than the venue in indoor volleyball. So that's my only point. Yeah, I think we are over here.
The one and only good thing that Juan Antonio Samaraj did to World Sports is to include beach volleyball in the Olympics program. I think in Atlanta, 1996. So it's really the only
I
thing.
think Karch Karali won, right?
Yeah, and Karachi won it and it's made it the first and only to win both indoor and beach volleyball. I don't think anyone will ever do this again. I think so. Karch will
His
be,
era is over,
yeah,
and now also as a coach. Yeah.
yeah, and probably if he wins this also as a coach, that we could just the put it to end of the sport, and he will be
But
the
he did
greatest
in
of all
Tokyo.
time. Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, that's so this is the end. This is the live show today is not happening. This is only to your imagination. Stefan says because made in China are the most popular words in the world. So yeah, that was a big blooper. So about Karch. So Karch is the greatest ever. I would say. The probably in
And
some
This
other
is actually a
sport.
Karch podcast.
Yeah, this is actually a Couch podcast, and he's paying us, and yeah, blah blah. So, Couch, if you're watching, please come as a guest in the podcast. or at least someone who knows Karch. I'm begging you to tell Karch that he's needed here after the Olympics. Okay, let's make an announcement that during the Olympics I will try to make podcasts, if possible, live. Probably not that long, but 30, 40 minutes every 2 or 3 days, depending on the program, with different guests in Bulgarian or in English, depending on the guest. So I will hope this is going to work out, because during the last Olympics I did it not live on record, but I did it every day. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that will be possible in terms of free time this Olympics. But taking into account that one round won't be played in a day, uh, actually this is not consistent with the program. So it's redundant, I think, to do it each day. So guys, thank you very much for making this podcast, and I hope you will be my guest also during the Olympics or after the Olympics.
Gladly. Thank you for organizing.
Thank you very much.
um, Thank you too. I was very glad that you watched us during the last an hour and let's 7 minutes. And I hope you're going to watch us also the next time after the start of the Olympics. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.